Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, I've decided not just to make Fakemon videos, because I kind of want to diversify my channel output, and also because, to give me more time to make some, I thought I would make some tier list videos, because I like sharing my opinions. I'm a very opinionated person. And the reason why I'm not looking directly is because, ooh, look, editing magic. I've got a tier list up of every Pokemon, all of them, and I'm going to rank their forms. Today I'm just going to be doing Gen 1, the original 151, and the original forms of them. I'll tackle the different forms in the generations they're introduced, apart from the gender differences, because until Gen 4, well, Pokemon introduced in Gen 4 onwards, when they had gender differences, they were typically more noticeable. But when gender differences were introduced to the first 4 gens of Pokemon, for the most part they weren't. So I'm not going to be including those, and I'm not going to be including Megas or Gigantamax or regional variants until I get to those respective generations. So, original 151. I'm just gonna say, I started being a Pokemon fan in Gen 5, and you know, a lot of my sensibilities lie there, but we'll see. We'll see if I need to be locked up. So, I'm just gonna run down the tiers just before I start. S tier is like best of the best. They send the right chemicals into my brain, and yes. A tier is basically the same. Like, I really appreciate that design. I think it's a very well put together design, but it just doesn't click as much in my brain. It's just, I appreciate it a lot, but it's not really something that I'm gonna, like, explode about. B tier is like, I still like that Pokemon, but I'm not as passionate about it. C tier is just like, or B tier is just, yeah, it's alright, I guess, yeah, and C tier is, it's kind of there. F tier is there just in case I really despise a Pokemon, and it's not just gonna be, design is gonna be the main factor here, but if I have personal bias towards certain Pokemon species, either positive or negative, yeah, that's gonna affect where I place them. So, even if I don't think I hate any particular Pokemon design, at least not from the top of my head, but there are some Pokemon that I'm just not a fan of, for one reason or another. But anyway, enough dilly-dallying. Bulbasaur's an S tier. I said Bulbasaur's an S tier. My laptop's lagging. Brilliant, but yeah. As is Ivysaur. Just gonna, like, try and get these two over with. Oh, for goodness sake, this is a bad idea. Oh no. I think Bulbasaur is really cute, and I think Ivysaur keeps that. I played Super Smash Bros. Brawl before I got into Pokemon, and I really like Ivysaur's design, and there's nostalgia from that. Still, it's... Why is that up? Why? No, I'm not doing Gigantamax yet. I'm not. But yeah, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, they're really cute, and I think they're definitely good ways to start your adventure. And I think they are the best starters to pick in Kanto, and maybe Kalos as well. Why is it blue? Here's gonna be my first hot take. Venusaur's just fine. I don't think it's awful. I think Venusaur's a Pokemon that I think I can like, but I don't see why people fall in love with that. It's not... Pokemon starter designs I just don't think any should be particularly ugly. I'm not saying Venusaur's ugly. There's plenty of times where I look at a picture of Venusaur and it's not ugly, but you know, I just its official art doesn't do it justice, and you know, yeah. Charmander is cute. I really like it. It's cute. I've used a Charmander before, and I loved it. And Charmeleon is red. It's one of those awkward middle stages, and I don't get why there needs to be a stereotype for that. Because there is a stereotype, it's there for a reason, but I don't see why they have to be awkward. I don't get it. Luckily, we've got Charizard. It's a classic. I used to not really like Charizard because it was everyone's favourite. And now that I like Charizard, everyone hates it now because it gets too much love. And I admit it gets a lot of love, but I think it's well deserved because Charizard actually helps kids in the real world. Fun fact, because therapists use a tactic where it's like, if you were Charizard, what would you do in this situation to get more out of that child? And it helps. Squirtle is also very cute. Yeah, I think it's a very cute Pokemon. I don't see... It is probably my least favourite out of this starter trio, but it's a pretty strong trio. I think I'm going to have to put Wartortle in B as well. Because, although it looks fine there, why does it have wings? Why does it have a cloud tail? It just does not feel like the right middle stage for the line. And I know why. It's because Squirtle was originally going to have a different final evolution. But wouldn't you change the middle stage to accommodate? Because it doesn't feel like there's a design. You know, it doesn't. It looks like a flying type. It looks like a flying type. It's periwinkle and everything. Like, not really. I don't hate it. It does look alright, and it does at least look like it comes from Squirtle. I'm not saying every Pokemon has to like look the same. No, they do need to look different, but like with starters specifically, they need to have some form of through line. And I think Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur do that perfectly. It's a little bit more rocky with the Charmander line, but mainly because Charmeleon is red for some reason. But honestly, the actual design is fine for that, but nah, not this one. Blastoise, no, I get Blastoise. I'm not so huge on it, and I think it should be Water Steel, but no, I think Blastoise is a really cool design, and you know, people love it for good reason. Caterpie is really cute, but I don't really like. It's close to being S tier, but not. It's not S tier itself. It's just really cute, but it's a Caterpie, really. Actually, to be honest, I'm just going to put all the bugs here, because I really like their designs. They're really strong designs, and heck, I've actually used a Weedle. Well, I've used a Beedrill before, and it's really cool. It's a shiny Beedrill as well, random shiny, and I used it on a team. And well, I haven't finished that playthrough yet, but I do really like these Pokemon, but I don't feel strong about them. But they're classic designs, and I think they're very strong designs. You know, it's just a shame they're not that strong of Pokemon, but they weren't designed to be, and I get why. But you know, it just makes you think Bug is worthless, which it was in Gen 1. But still, it's I like these designs. That's the point. Pidgey is just a bird. Pidgeotto is just a bigger bird, and Pidgeot is just that big bird, but again, there is not a design change. They are literally the same design. I don't get it. It's a decent enough design. I do like Pidgey and Pidgeotto, but Pidgeot's not that interesting. But I don't dislike it. I think it's still a decent enough design, but on principle, I'm feeling very strongly put it in C tier. Rattata, yeah, I mean I've got to put it in A tier. Again, it's a classic. There is good reason why, like, a lot of these designs are remembered, like, even by the general public 20 years on, like, or 25 years on, even. But yeah, it's good. But Raticate I'm not as strong on, but I find it decent, at least. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know, it's the teeth in the face for me. You know, I still quite like it, and especially since I'm just gonna say right now, for the Coronia region, I do have a regional variant of my own, and I quite like it. I quite like what I've done with it there. But I'll save that until next month, probably. Spearow! I think Spearow has a cooler design than Pidgey. And Fearow... but at least it's... like, with two-stage designs, I think two-stage designs overall get their Pokemon right, for the most part, because they don't have to focus on, like, adding a third stage, which is either just some weird thing in the middle, some just small thing at the start, or just this end one but bigger, you know? Which I'm not saying that's what all three stage lines are, I'm just saying there is that worry when it comes to designing three-stage mon. Ekans is fine. It's just a snake. I don't get much personality from it, it's just poison snake. But Arbok is cool, should have been dark type. Easy. I mean, Arbok, it's just got that imposing design. I like the face on its flaps. I shouldn't have called them flaps. But its own face, although it's very Gen 1, I think the Gen 1 face does have a lot of personality to it. And... you know, it's just a cool snake. It's a cool snack. It's a cool snack. Pikachu. I'm gonna put it in A tier because I do. Ooh, but it's not one of my favorites necessarily. But I do really like Pikachu's design. Just realised I put the female version up. Have I been doing that with all of them? I think I have been doing that with all of them. I don't care. It's just the same thing, except its tail is a heart now. But yeah, it's the mascot. It's great. Raichu. Here's the thing. I like that art of Raichu. I like that pose. But generally, when you see Raichu in-game, I don't really like it that much. I think the 3D model definitely ruined Raichu, but it just put into perspective Raichu, for me, isn't that amazing of a design. But I do quite like it. It is probably the best one out of B tier so far. But, you know, I don't think it's an A tier design. Sandshrew is cute, and Sandslash is awesome. I like them. It's weird, like, when I think of them, they don't feel like Gen 1 designs, even though they very clearly are. I think they're simple but effective. They're simple but effective. Which is very Gen 1, but, like, you know. Yeah, I'm glad they got more attention in Gen 7 with their regional variants. Which I prefer, but wouldn't go into S tier, so spoiler alert for down the line. Nidoran female is very cute. Nidorina and Nidoqueen I'll put in D tier. Not D tier. B tier, sorry. Yeah, they're good designs, but I don't really care for them. And also, why do they not have an egg group? That's dumb. You've got a counterpart that can breed, but the the women can't. This is sexism. But Nidoran male line, I think, overall, like, the weakest I would say is Nidorino, but I still like it, and Nidoking is really cool. I like them. Is it bias? Maybe. Yeah, I like Clefairy too. I quite like it. It's very cute. And Clefable is Clefairy, but big. So you know what I said about the two-stage lines? Like, I know there's Cleffa now, but it wasn't designed... well, it wasn't necessarily designed with Cleffa in mind. I know a bunch of Gen 2 Pokemon were designed before Gen 1 came out, and they were made for Gen 1, but had to be cut. But, you know, assuming Cleffa wasn't made before Gen 1, this two-stage line is literally just thing, but bigger. I don't like it that much. Actually, no, it's going into C tier. It's going into C tier. Clefable is just a big Clefairy and wings. And the wings aren't even that interesting of wings. Vulpix and Ninetales are amazing. They're godly. They are phenomenal. I don't even need to say anything, you know. If you don't like Vulpix and Ninetales, kindly seek help. And Jigglypuff, maybe it's exposure therapy because I've been a big Smash Bros. Fan. And in fact, before the pandemic, I would say I was a bigger Smash Bros. Fan than I was Pokemon. But I'm a bigger Pokemon fan now. But yeah, like, I think Jigglypuff's very cute. Like, it's nice, it's a circle with hair and ears and little limbs. It's like a Kirby, but, more interesting for the Pokemon style, but I don't think Kirby's boring. Kirby's perfectly simple. Wigglytuff, I would say, is B tier. I like it, but, I think Jigglypuff is fairly perfect for what it is. I would say Jigglypuff and Pikachu are like, well, they're same tier, obviously, but, you know, I think they're that perfect design that don't quite click with me. They're like the best of that tier so far. Ooh, Zubat. A tier. They're an A tier. They're just an A tier, because, like, for similar reasons to, like, Rattata, it's like that, you know, perfect, like, Gen 1 kind of design, but it's quite low because maybe it's too simple, but, like, adding complexity to it was a bad idea, because Golbat, what is that? Oh, it's the worst one so far, because at least, like, Pidgeot and, Pidgeot, I guess, and Clefable, at least they are appealing to look at. But I don't want to put it in F, because, like, it still has the good, like, vampire bat aesthetic going for it. And I don't dislike the line, in fact I like the line very much. But that is one of the worst Pokemon designs. Oddish, A tier. It's around, but it's just a little guy. It's just a little guy. And you know what? Bloom's fine too. It's a little bit on the uglier side, but in that sort of cute way. It's like a fugly sort of thing. Like, it's drooling, it's little drool, and you know what? I think it works. Yeah. And Vileplume's just really nice as well. They're not like, oh my god, top tier Pokemon, but you know, they're literally the definition of what A tier is. But I gave it. I'd have to say the same about Paris and Parasect, actually. Just because their design concept is so strong. Like, Paris is quite cute, and Parasect is, yeah. Like, thinking about it, yeah, I think they should be in A tier, because I was thinking they would just be in, like, B tier or something. And maybe it's because Legends Arceus has made me terrified of them. But no, I think they're very solid designs. Venonat is very cute. And Venomoth, do you know what? It's fine. See, here's the thing. My friends tend to say I'm overly positive. As you can see, if I like something, there's good reason why I like it. But of course, like, yeah, like I don't see anything wrong with Venomoth. I think it's good. I think it's more than fine. It's good. I like it. I would say I prefer it to all of these anyway. So, Diglett. I'm not as passionate for Diglett as a lot of people I know, but still, Diglett. And do you know what? Dugtrio gets away with it because Diglett was so cute. It gets away with the multiple Pokemon design thing. I'm very okay with it because I like Dugtrio. It's as cute as Diglett. It's Diglett but 3 times, so it's 3 times as cute. Shut up. Oh, Meowth. Meowth. How can I not put Meowth in, like, A tier at least? But Persian is B tier. Meowth is very cute, and yes, the anime does... The anime has made Meowth a household name, essentially, and... Do you know what? It's a cat! It's a cat! And then... Persian is just a cat. Like, there's nothing... Like, it's literally a cat with none of the things that most people who like cats like about cats, unless if they're really into cats, like the predator cats as well. But the thing is, it's very plain. It has nothing really to it. It's Persian. Psyduck and I'd say Golduck are A tier. Again, classic, and like they don't feel like a staple of the series, like in the same way that Rattata or Zubat or Meowth do. But it's iconic. They're both iconic. Psyduck more than Golduck, and they should be Psychic type. Simple as. Mankey and Primate are fine. They're fine. I don't care. But Growlithe and Arcan... Yeah, literally. How can I speak about just a circle that's meant to be a monkey, but also kind of a pig, and it's just like, I'm gonna fight, yeah! I'm gonna fight. Like, what? How? I don't have anything to say. But I don't think the design is lazy. So, fair enough. But yeah, Growlithe and Arcanine are good boys. I love them. I've used Arcanine twice, although one of them was Hisuian, which we'll get to eventually. But in my playthrough of Pokemon Black 2, I did when the game came out, I had a Growlithe, which I evolved into an Arcanine, and you know what? I like it. I would say Arcanine's overtaken Charizard as my favourite fire type now, but Charizard was definitely number 1, and it's a solid number 2 now, I would say. Poliwag. I like it. And I like Poliwhirl too. And Poliwrath is fine. I don't know why I'm putting it in B instead of C, because it's got similar issues to like Pidgeot and Clefable for me, where it's like it looks pretty much exactly the same. Its eyes are very different, and it does convey that it's different a lot more. So I think from personality alone, it just gets into B tier. Oh, Abra's so cute. Abra's so cute. I don't have any strong, like, connection to it, which is why it's not an S tier. And Kadabra and Alakazam, like, all of them, they've got weird designs. They've got very weird designs, but you know what? I think they work. I think they work. And it very much does feel like it feels like it was so close to being the sort of issue with, like the sort of issue where it's just like, it's the same thing but bigger each time. But somehow they managed to make it work. With subtle things. but really effective things, I'd say. Machoke's just kind of there for me. There's just something about Machoke that I'm just really... Like, it's the... Again, this is the best one out of these, but it's just a dude. It's just a dude. I'm fine with Machoke. I'm fine with Machoke. There is some level of disconnect there. And I'm like, do you know what? It's fine. I'm... Or not just fine. I would say... I get it. I like it. I would say it's more B+ than A-, but do you know what? Then should I put in... Well, no, I very much prefer it to all of these, and yeah, but I would say it's the weakest here. I'm gonna piss people off here. No, not that one. This one. I don't like these two. I don't think I ever have. They're just plants with lips. Bellsprout looks like what a 10-year-old would, like, conceptualize. And to be fair, I do like its body. I just don't really like its face. I do think its body does capture the essence of Pokemon, so I think it is better than Weepinbell. But Weepinbell is just everything that I didn't like about Bellsprout made worse. I don't really like that. I don't really like them. But Victory Bell's fine. I'll just put it in B tier. It's a strong B tier. It's one of the stronger ones in B tier. But it's still in B tier. I would say I prefer Raichu. It is very literally what it's based on, which I can't remember the name of the plant, but it's like that sort of carnivorous plant that, you know, it's where it just tempts things in and then it just swallows it. Putting menacing eyes on that works. And also those teeth make it even more threatening. Although pretty much everything I liked about Bellsprout is entirely gone now, it somehow turned Weepinbell into something I like, essentially. Tentacool, I'm fine with it. Tentacruel, it's awesome. I really like Tentacruel's design. I mean, I don't mind it being in every single water route in the entire series. I just mind it if it's, like, the only thing. I'd much rather, like, encounter a Tentacruel more often than I would encounter a Tentacool. Because I get to look at Tentacruel, and, like, the fact that it's got, like, these claws is really cool, and the tentacles it has, the tendrils, I think the sheer amount of them makes it very threatening, and I think it's very awesome of a design. That being said, I had a fear of jellyfishes when I was young, and I did get stung by one at one point. It was quite minor, but it still hurt, and yeah, it very much encapsulates that fear, even though it doesn't look that much like a jellyfish in my opinion. Geodude is a rock with arms, but it's iconic. Graveler, I don't really care for design-wise, and same thing with Golem. Oh, Ponyta and Rapidash. I'm just going to put that there for now so I can bring that all the way up. Same thing with Rapidash. Well, a Rapidash less than Ponyta. Both original and Galarian. But, like, it's so majestic. And the horse with fire, like, it is just an animal with an element slapped on it, but I think it's such a good execution of that I don't care. Oh, Slowpoke. Oh, Slowpoke, you are going in A tier. And do you know what? Screw it. So are you, Slowbro. I don't mind it being the same but bigger because of the element it introduces. Because the element it introduces, it adds lore and it adds a different characterization to it. And it makes it stronger because it's a bit more focused. The shelter on its tail. Yeah, I don't mind it being the same but bigger because there is context as to why. If you have a good enough reason for being the same but bigger, I forgive it. Magnemite, oh my god, Magnemite is such a good design. Like, it's really cute and I really like it. Magneton tries doing the Dugtrio thing, but isn't as successful. Because I think Dugtrio... I don't know. I don't know why. And the weird thing is, Magneton has a better reason. But I guess... Nah, it doesn't... For me, it doesn't work as a final stage. And maybe that's because for as long as I've been a Pokemon fan, Magnezone has always been a thing. So, I don't know. And it just feels like something that doesn't feel as cohesive anymore. Farfetch'd. I'll put it in B tier. I think it's unfair to put it in C tier. But it's just a thing. I do like what it's inspired by. It's inspired by a saying. And I like how they just did that and made it a Pokemon. So yeah, I do like it. I will say I like it, but it's just a duck. It's just a duck. I think Doduo is weirdly cute, but Dodrio doesn't keep that, and it looks fierce. It does the logical thing, and I think it would be unfair to put it in C tier, but you're just narrowly avoiding it. It's just a seal. It has a horn. And it doesn't even look that great. Dugong looks somewhat cute, so I'm going to put it in C tier. But I'm not going to say I like it, because it's too simple. It's too simple. And I don't think that works. I think with the pocket monster aspect of Pokemon, the way they make it more monstrous is by giving it a horn. No, but at least it's cute, so it gets enough of a pass where it's in C tier. But Seal, I can't really forgive. Grimer, do you know what? I vaguely like Grimer. But I don't really like Muck, because it is just the same, but bigger. And there's no real sense of design evolution. It's just the same, but bigger and more ugly. I will say my opinions on the Alolan ones are quite different. But, I'll get to that when I get to that. Shelder's very cute, and do you know what? I'm gonna put it in A tier. And Cloyster is quite cool. I think as a Pokemon design, it's one of the Gen 1 ones where it's like Gen 1 2-stage Pokemon are very hit or miss. And I think these ones are a hit because it starts out cute, ends up cool, very much has a similarity between them, but they're very distinct, so I think they work. Ghastly. I'll put in B tier. I've not really been much of a fan of Ghastly, but I do like Haunter and Gengar quite a bit. In fact, Haunter and Gengar are going in A tier. I'm not passionately in love with Haunter and Gengar, but I think their designs are really cool and simple but effective. I think in its Gen 1 sprites it was more just gas, but the fact that they had to add like an orb in there, I'm not really a fan of. And just I don't know, it's something about Ghastly's face, but Haunter was done really well. It's like that. It's a very traditional ghostly shape, and then Gengar is a full form, and I do like their design evolution. So don't think for a second that I think Ghastly and like Dodrio are like the same quality, but I would put them in the same tier. They're just different ends of the tier, and I'm only putting them in like Dex order, and that's the only reason I'm putting them in the order I am. Onyx, it's fine. It's fine. That's not Onyx. This is an Onyx, and it's fine. I think it would be an A tier if it wasn't as bad as it was. Like, part of me thinks Graveler would have been a better ace for Brock, but you know, I like how intimidating Onyx looks, but I don't think it shouldn't be as weak as it is based on its looks. And That brings it down for me, that knowledge, but I can't, like, mess on it too much. Also, perspective on it's a bit weird, and same goes for Steelix, because it's a big snake with a very prominent head, and it's weird. But it being in the air is meant to make it more threatening, I guess. But yeah, Drowsy, I'm gonna put an A tier. It's a bit lower because I don't care too much about its design, but I do like Drowsy and Hypno. They look like they could be very much separate Pokemon. They look like they're like the same stage, and I don't know why, but I kind of dig that about them. And I do like how they've got very different methods of putting to sleep. And Hypno is way creepy, and it looks more human, but I like that. It adds the creepiness factor, and I think it works with its lore. It should have been Dark-type as well as Arbok. Because I don't see... like, literally, its Dex entry says, oh, it kidnaps children. Oh, that's not evil. Anyway. Oh, Krabby. Okay, I don't really like Krabby or Kingler. They're just crabs. I feel like there's more interest... I don't think crab Pokemon have been done particularly well, bar one, and then they ruined it. But, I mean, I could be misremembering, but still. I think a lot of fan crab Pokemon are good. So I definitely think they can do good. I just don't really like these two. Voltorb is fine, but Electrode, no. No, I think they should have gone all the way in with the Pokeball concept. I don't see why Electrode is the design it is, and the explanation given, I'm like, okay, cool, but I thought of something a lot better anyways. Execute, I don't really care for, but I do like Executor a bit, and that Goodwill may be a carryover from the Alolan form. But still, I think it's good. Also, if you can hear the rain, I'm sorry, it's a rainy day and I just wanted to record now. Ooh, Cubone! Oh, I really like Cubone. It's weird, like, I say I really like something. A tier, not S tier. Trust me, S tier is for things that I have such, like, an internal spiritual connection with. And I guess Marowak's pretty good too. I prefer Cubone to Marowak, because I think Cubone is a very iconic design, but I think Marowak, it's the same but bigger but more developed, and I think it should have been a 3-stage line based on the way Marowak looks and what its stats are, but I still quite like it. Hitmonlee! I don't really like Hitmonlee. I like its concept, I just don't like its design. Hitmonchan is a better design, but I'm not that passionate on. I don't really care about the Hitmons, to be honest. I think Hitmonchan's my favourite, but again, it's one of those very much human-looking Pokemon that I don't mind humanoid Pokemon, but it's like, this goes a bit far. But, there's nothing redeeming about Lickitung, in my opinion. There's nothing redeeming about it. It's a tongue. If they just left it at a single stage, it might be in C tier, but no. The beta baby form is kind of cute, I guess, but yeah. Coughing. I think Coughing is very cute, and I think its design philosophy quite works, but Wheezing. Ugh. I know it's kind of meant to give me the ick, but it still gives me the ick. I'm not really a fan of Wheezing. I much prefer its Galarian form. Oh, Rhyhorn's cute. And I like Rhydon as well. The thing is, I probably wouldn't use them, but I do think their designs are pretty nice. Chansey is nice and round, and it's an enigma. It's very much... It's based on different things smushed together. And it's like, it looks like something where there's no real allegory for it in the real world, and I like that. I like that about it. Oh, and Tangle is cute. I'm glad it got an evolution, eventually, though, because I don't think I would want to use something that is just a small little guy. But I like it. I like how it's got a load of vines and stuff. I don't get why it's blue. Like, it's shiny as green, and I get that, but it doesn't look like a grass type to me. It looks like alien spaghetti. It looks like the spaghetti monster. Praise be. Ooh, Kangaskhan. I like it. I like it. It should have been the final form of Cubone. But it's not. Horsey, I would say it was an A or B tier. I'll put it in A tier. I'll put it in A tier. It's cute, but it's not like my kind of cute, but it's just an A tier. Only because, I think it very much works as a pre-evolution to Seadra. I think Seadra's a very cool design, and it looks like a final evolution. Do you know what? Goldine's fine. Goldine's fine. I don't see anything wrong with Goldeen. It's pretty basic, but it's pretty. It's very pretty. And it, you know, I feel like it's more in it's pretty and interesting to look at. Seeking, I don't think is that interesting to look at. It's just pretty ugly, to be honest. Staryu and Starmie are very much like the same case. Like, I don't get how you can like one and not the other. Like, they're pretty much they're not the same. One's a development of the other. But I find it pretty interesting. It doesn't have a face, and I think that's very important, but I think it gets away with it because the design is so interesting. That I don't care. I don't care. Mr. Mime. I'm going to put in B tier, actually. And you may be wondering, oh, but Mr. Mime is cursed. So, like, it looks fine to me. I've actually kind of gotten over it, in all honesty. I think it looks fine. Although, only the original, or what is now the original design. I think the original sprites looked cursed, but I think the design itself is fine. I think it's kind of cute. I feel like whatever they try to do is cute conceptually, but is horrifying in execution. So if you just keep it limited, which this is, limited to the context of just what it is, I'm fine with it. Is it a bit too human for some people? Yeah, but like, I know that was the sort of thing I had with Hitmonchan, but it's in the same tier as Hitmonchan, so I don't see what's wrong with that. Scyther is A tier. Oh my god, Scyther's so cool. Scyther's such a cool design. It's one of the coolest bug type designs in my opinion. It's a mantis with scythes for hands. Holy moly. I don't want to get into the problematic elements of Jinx's original design, but not gonna lie, I liked what they were going for more of that, but I appreciate that it was kind of offensive. And yeah, if you, like, it's weird, because I don't think what they were originally trying to do was have Jinx have black skin. I think what they were trying to do was have it so that Jinx was more of an enigma, but what they did was make it have black skin. So now it's purple skinned. And, okay, now I have to look at it as, that's what the creature looks like now. And it looks ugly. I think Jinx had more potential to be in B tier in its original design, but I get why the original design was changed, but I don't think... long story short, I don't think Jinx was that great of a Pokemon to begin with, and I get why they changed it. It made it worse. That's all. Please don't take what I have to say out of context. I also don't really get Electabuzz and Magmortar. I don't. I really don't. They just look ugly. They just look ugly. Not fun ugly like Pinsir. Pinsir's actually quite cool. It's ugly in the cool way, and I'll put it next to Scyther as it belongs. But yeah, like Pinsir, I love its mandibles. I love its teeth. It's weird because it, everything it is in the wrong place, but it works because it they made it more human enough to connect with it more, but just not enough to still make it monstrous. And I think that works, and it's a pocket monster. I like it. Tauros is fine. It's basic. It's very basic, but it's still interesting to look at. Maybe I just have a bias towards mammals over or land mammals over aquatic creatures. That being said, Magikarp is a classic for good reason, and Magikarp is going in A tier. I actually like its design more than Gyarados, but do you know what? Gyarados is still so good. It's not going in F tier, it's going in A tier. Gyarados is still really good, and I like its design a lot. And I like the concept behind them, and there's a reason it's iconic. Because it was in Gen 1 and it had a good concept behind it, and it's a good design. So anyone who hates on them, no. Magikarp is weak, but like the whole point is that it's weak and then gets so strong. Like, that's why I'm fine with it. Because, like, I know in the same tier, like, I prefer these as Pokemon to, like, the bugs. Because, like, with the bugs, like, they were weak and then stayed weak. So, yeah, but I just really like their designs. But Magikarp is weak and then becomes strong. That's the whole point. I don't trust anyone who doesn't like Lapras. I'm putting it in A tier. I'm pretty sure everyone likes Lapras. Because it's very pretty. It's a single stage that really works. It has decent enough stats, and it's the go-to surf Pokemon. It's iconic, and I don't even think it's iconic because it's the right thing. I think it could have been forgettable, but because it was such a good design, not even a phenomenal design concept, it's just they just did good with something that is fairly little, considering it's basically just the Loch Ness Monster with an icebergy type shell, which is why it's ice type. Even though I don't think the shell is very icy. But still, it's I think it's good. The rain is getting louder. I am sorry if anyone can hear that. Oh, Ditto. Oh, Ditto. Do you know what? Ditto is going in S tier. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had an S tier design. Ditto is so simple and so cute, and I just love it. I just love it. I think I like Ditto. Imposter was necessary for it because Transform is terrible. But I just think Ditto is just great. I just love this little guy, and I think, you know, it's a gimmick mon, but I like the gimmick, so. And also it's good for breeding Pokemon, which is good for shiny hunting and completing the decks. Finally, we've gotten to the magnum opus of all Pokemon, Eevee. Eevee is my favourite Pokemon of all time. It is going into S tier by default. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. It's just really cute. Whenever I look at it, it fills me with joy. And it's really cute, and I really like the gimmick. God, I've been recording for like nearly an hour, but I'm nearly done. Vaporeon. Holy... Vaporeon is my favourite Gen 1 evolution. It helps that out of the three types, Water is my favourite of the three. Water's heck, Normal's my favourite type. Because there's only like a few normal types I don't like, and they're mostly Lickitung and Licky. But like this design, like it's aquatic. It's got aquatic elements. It's like it really showcases how unstable Eevee's DNA is, because like the rest of the evolutions are basically just mammals, and like they look quite different from one another. But like this makes the most out of Eevee's concept, and it's not my favorite evolution either. I really like, as you can tell, I really like these Pokemon, but I just think Vaporeon's my favorite out of the Gen 1 ones. And it's definitely in the top half of evolutions. Because my favourites are Vaporeon, the Johto ones, and Sylveon. Although Jolteon is also an S tier, I think its design is... it doesn't need to have electric elements to look like an electric type. You know, it's just got very frizzy hair. And I think that's different enough from the previous electric types we've had, which are Magnemite, which is a magnet, Pikachu. Is that it? Oh, and Electabuzz. Oh, I forgot about Electabuzz. I don't like Electabuzz. But yeah, Jolteon's great too. And you know what? I'll put Flareon in A tier. But I still really like it. It's really cute, and it's the closest one to Eevee, I would say. It's the closest one to Eevee design-wise, and Eevee's really cute. Actually, do you know what? It's S tier, but it's just an S tier. Because if it gives me like the similar vibes to Eevee, I'm like, oh, I can't just leave it in A tier. Porygon. I like the concept a lot, and I like the design a lot too. Porygon is just really good looking. I like it. As you can tell, God, I didn't think I liked Gen 1 designs as much as this. Like, when I have to really think about them, I'm like, oh no, that's good, because like I don't really think about Gen 1 that much. And Omanyte's really cute. Omanyte is really cute. I'm gonna have to put an A tier. Oh, I'm gonna commit heresy. I don't think Lord Helix is that good looking. He's, like, gotta love Lord Helix, but you gotta admit, he ain't a looker. He ain't a looker. Gonna put you in B tier because I still like the concept. I just don't like. It makes sense, I guess. They just add spikes, make it more ferocious looking, but it's it doesn't appeal to me. I don't mind the like cool and ferocious looking Pokemon, but it's just like, Kabuto or Kabuto, however you pronounce it, however you emphasize it, I think is cute. He's a little crab. I can't remember what it actually is, so I'm just gonna call it a crab. And do you know what? Kabutops, I'm gonna also put in A tier. I think its design is actually really cool. It's got scythes for hands. It just works, and like, and I think it looks cool. And you know, it's weird. Like they don't quite look like they're the same, but like they do enough, I would say. Aerodactyl. It looks Charizard-y. Bit too Charizard-y for my liking. I still like it. Still think it's a cool design. And Snorlax. We're getting to the end. Again, who doesn't love Snorlax? I want to hug one. I am a Snorlax. Now the birds. Ooh boy. I really like Articuno's design. I'm not so hot on the others though. Articuno's design is like, it's so majestic. I think that's just a theme with a lot of ice types. I say that. How many ice types do I actually have up here? It's the highest ice type, I think. Just skimming. Oh no, Lapras is as well. Lapras is there. And then I would say either that or Lapras is the best ice type design in Gen 1. for sure. I do like Zapdos quite a bit. But I don't like it as much as these. But I would say this is probably the highest in this tier. And then Moltres, I'm sorry, I just don't care. It's not that great. Not that great. Dratini is super cute. It's one of the cutest Pokemon in my opinion. Fuck it, yeah. It's an S tier as well. I really like it. Dragonair is Dratini but bigger, but developed. It's not just Dratini but bigger. It essentially is. I don't care. I'm gonna put in S tier as well. Because you know what? It's my list. I can do what I want. Yeah. I just really like their designs so much, and I'm just like, screw it. And Dragonite is definitely the tier under. I just need to find it. Dragonite is there. It's just a dragon, but it's a friendly looking dragon. But it's an A tier though. It's not an S tier design. I think if it was like an even more developed version of Dragonair, then yeah. But it's got a dad bod. It's got a dad bod, but it's still friendly, so it's still A tier. But it doesn't quite click with me. I much prefer the Serpentine Dragon approach. 2 more to go. Mewtwo is okay, right? It's definitely at least A tier, but I need to think. Is it an S tier? Mewtwo is one of my favorite legendaries, mainly because of Smash Bros. I don't really care that much about legendaries, to be honest, but actually, no, I'm gonna put it in A tier. Nah, it's not an S tier. But I still really like the design. And then there's Mew! To round us off, Mew is very cute. It's one of the cutest Pokemon. But I'll just keep it in A tier as well, because it's not like one of those things that really into my head, but still. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Next time in this tier ranking series, I'm going to be doing the Johtomon, which won't take as long, as it's about 2/3 as much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ring the notification bell if you want to keep updated from whenever I upload. The social media links and other stuff I do down in the description, and make sure you check out my Fakemon series, the Chronia region. I'm very proud of it, and you know, it's me putting my money where my mouth is, you know, making a bunch of designs. But yeah, I guess I like Pokemon, if most of them are like B tier or above. Yeah. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.